Hello, hello. I'm Crystal Rosas inside of our Z100 Artist Interview Lounge presented by Celsius Energy. Today, the Grammy-winning country pop trailblazer. Her soulful storytelling and genre-bending sound have captivated fans worldwide. Bursting into the scene with her triple platinum hit, Burning House, earned a Grammy nomination for Best Country Solo Performance and quickly became a force in the industry. Her critically acclaimed debut album, Untamed, hit number 2 on Billboard's top country albums, with her follow-up, The Other Side, featuring collabs with Avicii, Sam Smith, Harry Styles. She earned another Grammy Album of the Year for her songwriting on Beyoncé's Cowboy Carter. Her bold lyrics, emotional depth, fearless advocacy for women in music, it's made her a standout voice in modern country, with performances at the Grand Ole Opry, Lollapalooza, and beyond. We saw her on the Today Show. We're super excited to celebrate her music, and her new album, All Things Light.
Hi! Wow! What an intro. I wish I was taller after all that.
Your hair makes up.
Thanks, yeah.
Well, that's just you, though. That's just what you did.
I know. I can't believe it still. But it's amazing. I mean, I've been sitting with this album for a few years now, so it's like now everyone gets to hear it, this thing that I've been living with. And it sounds different sometimes. Once it's out and you listen back, you're like, I don't know what it is. It like, if you ever listen back to the show or something about when it gets kind of stamped into reality. And I'm so thankful I've listened back now that it's out, and I wouldn't change a single thing. I just am so obsessed with this album. Yeah, it's like, it's art. I want you to spend time with it. It makes me so happy.
Wait, that means that you really put your entire being into it, because so many times we want it to be perfect and we're changing this, or you're hearing it back and you're feeling weird, but you just said that it's perfect.
Yeah, it is. I can't believe it.
And so much has happened while you were working on it, and just your trajectory of your career is just so interesting, the lore of it all. So now that it's here and you've been hearing it a few times and you've been even performing it, I mean, the Today Show.
I know.
Girl, that is big, big.
It was so fun, and it went so well. Like, Alchemy is this upbeat, like, not an easy song to sing, to be honest. And like, you get there like 5 a.m, you know, and you're just like trying to pull yourself. Musicians and morning shows aren't like quite friends. But since becoming a mom, I feel like I'm used to not a lot of sleep. So get up there, and I feel like it went really well. And then as I was leaving to go back to grab my stuff from the dressing room, Dionne Warwick came by and was like, I have to stop you because I just want to compliment you. And like, it sounded wonderful. And I am so jet lagged because I've been running around for this promo doing like London and LA and New York. And I just like started crying in front of Dionne Warwick. But I mean, you can't, there's nothing like that kind of feeling of someone who think how long and how hard she had to work to be the best at what she does for that long. I mean, for her to just like, I want to take the time to tell you that was unreal. Yeah.
That is so crazy, getting love from such a big name like that. And then you just hit it right now saying that you're kind of used to the early mornings because mom life. I mean, I'm only a stepmom, so I can even imagine when you're fully 100%, you know, there and doing everything that you do too. So how is that? I mean, you opened up about it in the pandemic, but how has that journey while I cannot wait to be a mom like you, doing the thing. So how has that been working and putting your passion into your projects?
Well, I was so ready to be like, okay, you know, boss mom, I'm going to put my Spanx back on at 2 months. And we actually came up to New York, did like Today Show actually, and like late night. And then the pandemic happened like a month later. But I was like, I'm going to breastfeed. We're going to do it all. I'm going to run around. And the pandemic kind of like slowed me down. And there literally is a song on the record, Slow Down, because it was so important, even though it was so heavy, and I felt like my identity kind of cracked open, and I was like, who am I anymore? But getting that time with her that I never would have had, because the truth is, like, being working moms, it's like, everyone's like, you can have it all, and it's like, you can have it all, but not at the same time. So you have to make decisions, you know, about where you're spending your time and how you're going to prioritize. And so I tried hard to like prioritize her, but also still, you know, have a life and have art and haven't quite figured it out, but she seems all right. I seem all right.
Yes, you're surviving.
Yeah.
Thriving. Even your little princess Lucy, you've mentioned that she's inspired some of your music.
Yeah, I think coming into this, like I just had such a, like, because I was saying, sort of like a shake of identity, like what are my beliefs? I didn't really grow up with a religion, so I sort of have had I think the blessing of throughout my life meeting people, learning from them, taking on different kinds of beliefs and practices and sort of being open to everything. And I think what happened with her being now in my life was like, okay, I can't really leave anything unanswered for myself, but also more importantly, like she's going to come to me with questions. Like she asked, we have backyard chickens and one of them, of course, her favorite one died. And she's like, Mom, like, what does it mean to die? And I was not prepared. No one gave me the parent handbook on like how to explain this. So I was like, well, your body gets still and your light goes back up to the stars, and I'm just winging it. You know what I mean?
Even explaining that you're an amazing writer. You don't even try. You just like...
But just I mean, it's like, it really like kind of hammered home like, okay, and this is what I want to do with my art too. I want to say things that are healing to me and that offer up some sort of, not answers, because I think anyone who tells you they've got all the answers is immediate red flag. Do not run away from those people. But I wanted to offer up in this like healing balm, like poetry, like just like almost like a hand to hold. Like there's someone else who's feeling this way too. And in those times where you're feeling lost in your life, having something like that makes all the difference for me personally. So that's what I wanted to make this album into. And I hope when she's older, she can like turn to this.
And I mean, you're also holding space for heartbreak, but hope at the same time, which is really cool in your single Everbright.
Oh yeah, Everblue.
Everblue, I'm sorry.
Yes, no,
Everblue.
Exactly. It's kind of like I think there's something about being heartbroken, whether it's by like a romantic partner or just like the world kind of lets you down,
Yeah.
Like you have these super high, I don't know, like me being a kid of the 90s, we thought everything was possible. We're like, oh my gosh, you can be anything you want. There's going to be a female president and all that kind of stuff.
And China sweepstakes.
Yes. And it's just like,
I'm going to win.
Yeah. And at this point, it's like, it doesn't all come true. And, it's so American to like live amidst broken dreams. And we still keep dreaming and we still have hope and we still like, I just believe endlessly in how much potential we have as human beings to like imagine something better for ourselves and believe in something better and carry on.
And it's so cool to see that thought expressed in your work, because your album, All Things Light, it's probably your most visionary work yet. I would say. And when you're thinking about it and what it means to, like, what does it represent in this moment in your life right now for you?
Yeah, I think it's mostly like this, it's meant to be more artistic than like trying to fit into any sort of mold. I really do feel like it's a real expression of who I am and how I feel about the world. And this sounds so cheesy, but as I was getting into writing it, it was like pandemic. So I spent a lot of alone time in the studio and I didn't have people around me. I don't know if you're like this, but I'm like really aware of what other people are like thinking or feeling or how they're reacting. And it's like, it takes up a lot of space in my brain. And so to have no one around and just be like, okay, special little antenna, what are you feeling? What do you want to bring into the world? It was just like a clear path for this stuff to sort of be a vessel. I was like a vessel for things. And I felt like this stuff for All Things Light, it was the like same time that I got the call for Cowboy Carter too. So like these ideas that were kind of coming up and the kind of creative direction and what I wanted to make, it really was like this specific chapter that feels very deep. Like a friend of mine was like, it's like when you swim into the ocean and you know how like it starts to get deeper and it gets like colder. She's like, that's what this album feels like compared to your earlier work. And I was like, I love this.
That's so different when you're used to writing with other people or working with other people and getting everyone's inputs and energy into you. Wait, so then Is it because we were in the pandemic that you decided, or that was just like serendipitous how that ended up happening?
Yeah, because it was like so much of it was alone because people like weren't supposed to be alone. And then my buddy Ty, who is my producer, and we kind of do everything together. He's like my musical brother. He was out of town. I remember that was like the first time I got to go spend time just like alone in the studio. And it just sort of unlocked a new, because normally I would be around other people, and you know those things you kind of just don't question it. You're like, oh, we just do it all together. Like I'm like a big sister, and I just love doing things with other people all the time. And it was like, that happenstance definitely led to how this album came together.
Wow. And then your music video that's directed by James Mackle, which is really awesome.
Yes.
It's very unique too.
Thank you.
How was that working with him? Did you have already
Incredible.
ideas? Did you guys work together?
I mean, because he does Dochi and stuff like that, and he's just like such a sweet, tender-hearted human. And it was so nice. We got to talk to him and like immediately bonded over how we both love Bon Iver. And we were chatting through because like me and my creative partner, Lindsay Marius, we always are like doing endless Pinterest boards and like, idea brainstorming of what visuals can be and like bouncing that through his filter. And like he just does such great like these single shot versions of these music videos.
And they're like show it like some movie cinematic
so
experience.
Beautiful. And I know that like I just feel like in the time era of like quick content, and everybody's just like rushing, and there's something so purposeful and intentional about being like, we're gonna slow pan in to this really beautiful setup. It's like you're deciding to like pay attention to something, and he did a good job bringing everybody into the world.
Wow, that must be so cool to see that mind work.
Yeah, he's very, very sweet, like almost like he feels very country to me too, because he's very humble.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
And these names that you have on the album too. I mean, this is your baby, so you're always specific about who you decide to let into your world. Jeff, Vasker, Stara. I mean, these are big names.
Yes.
And so, how did you decide to work with these artists?
Honestly, so Jeff has been a part of everything we've done. He's been kind of like my mentor, so he's always around. And then, it felt like a sitcom, honestly, because we were at East West Studios in LA, which is like Studio 3, where we were in, is when like the Beach Boys did their stuff, like Pet Sounds, Mamas and the Papas, and you get in that room and it like feels iconic already as you're starting into it. And then it felt like a sitcom because Ty would be like, oh yeah, like All Day's swinging by, or Michael Uzuru, or Stara. And it was just like, there was something about, I mean, there's such talent in that town, and it just, I don't know, it all seemed low pressure too, where everyone was coming by to have what felt like a great time to me. I hope they all
Well, then that's reality.
But yeah, it was really sweet, and it felt like it. I think I don't want to say it was like easy, but it felt so enjoyable. That's what me and Tyler say about this whole process. There's something about, we worked really hard on our crafts that I feel like now we finally are like able to make what we hear in our heads and see in our minds, and then we're also like brave enough to choose it, as opposed to like there's so much second guessing I think that comes with genres where it's like, oh my gosh, is this gonna fit in, and is this single friendly, and is this there's so much like of the business that leaks in. And I think in this economy, the artists are all making a lot of there's a lot of people I think making decisions out of fear, because you're just trying to like
make a
check. Mm-hmm. And no shade at all to anyone, just you get your money, do it how you want to do it. But for me, I had to like prove this artistically to myself. Like I had to see this through.
Well, you mentioned that already, that you didn't want to be put in a box, and even now when you just said it, that you feel that pressure because, okay, is this going to be radio friendly? Is this going to be that friendly? But you decided anyways to just blend in like country, folk, pop, which is so unique right now. We hear here and there, especially like now we hear it in pop. We hear like country's becoming a thing.
Yes.
So speak on that.
Yeah, I feel like country, I mean, I think country songwriting, when it's done well, is the best. So I'm obsessed with it. But I would say, growing up in the Bay, there wasn't like a massive country scene. I mean, like country was big, you know, so everybody knew like the Chicks and Shania Twain. But like there was maybe like a folk scene and like an indie rock scene, and then everything else that was like normal to listen to. So I think I always was sort of like around the fringes of country anyways growing up, and like my grandparents loved old country. So it it always felt kind of like the mix of things to me feels normal. Like it doesn't feel like I'm trying to be like so out there and crazy and mix all these things. It sounds like how I feel.
And when you're in the mind space of writing your songs, what helps you decide what's too much that you're giving about your personal life, and then what you still want to be authentic?
Yeah. Usually, because I feel like writing's really hard, and there's like a Mae West quote. I don't like writing, but I like having written, and I agree with that wholeheartedly. It's like so difficult to do. So whenever I come up with like a concept, I want it to be something I love so much that I'll see it all the way through. Like, because it feels like a marathon I'm running. So if at the start I'm already kind of like, oh, I don't know if that's good enough, I won't run the whole thing. So I'm always trying to like find something that feels important enough to like commit to. And usually there's some element of like, this makes me feel very vulnerable to say out loud, or I've needed to hear, I wish someone would have said this to me when I was hurting or when I was happy or something like that. So I'm like kind of my own therapist, I guess, is what I'm doing in those songs. But then it's kind of embarrassing when you sing it out loud. Sometimes you're like, oh, everybody knows. But it's just poetry. People don't always know. People, they hear themselves, you know, so they don't fully know.
Mm-hmm. And we hit on it a little bit, your incredible journey of writing and who you've worked with. I mean, I can't just glaze over that you helped bring Cowboy Carter to life and it won a Grammy. And so where were you when you got that call?
In Nashville, thankfully, because it was like either that day or the next day. And my publisher was like, can you go to this session? And I was like, yeah, I'm in town, which I'm not always in town. So it was really super lucky, and went in, and yeah, my 12-year-old mind is just like, no way.
Same.
But at the same time, can I tell you something that like, I feel like as women, we never want to own this, but I like, when I was going in, I like had this feeling. I was like, I got this. Like, I think I actually got this.
That's when you're in your element of like who you really are becoming and are. When you walk into that room not feeling nervous or anxious or am I not good enough, like that is who you actually are when you're saying, I've done this my whole life.
Yeah, because all I have to be is me. And it's either going to work or it's not. And it,
So what was it like working in a room like that?
I mean, unreal. Like, yeah, it's just... I still every now and then I'll like glance over and there's like the Grammy, you know, and it'll say my name and Cowboy Carter and Beyoncé. What?
Is this even like real life?
No. And then, you know, my 5-year-old's completely unimpressed, but such is life.
So cool. When you're thinking of what you've gone through and who you are now, it's something maybe your fans are surprised to learn about your journey so far.
Ooh, I feel like I'm pretty open with them. But this latest album, I have a song called Kill the Guru on it. And it's like another chapter of the story of Burning House. So Burning House, like I tell them all how like there was a guy who was my college boyfriend in Davis. And we broke up in kind of like not very nice circumstances. It was my bad. And I felt bad about it. I had this dream, wrote the song. And then on this album, you find out, like, the reason I broke up with him is because I fell in love with a guru while I was in Nepal and told that boyfriend, like, it's over. And that was how I told you earlier, like, someone who says they know all the answers, like, that's a definite red flag. Firsthand experience with somebody who is a guru who says they know all the answers, like,
Wait, I've heard the term guru before, but what does that mean in Nepal?
It means, well, he wasn't Nepalese. I'm not giving Nepalese people a bad name. He was a foreigner, and it's like, have you watched all those Netflix documentaries on like
the
cults?
yoga guy or something?
Yes, it's basically like a cult leader. So like, but they can be
You
spiritual.
got by a cult leader?
I got. Yeah, you could be a guru. Just for the record, can mean someone who's a spiritual leader who is good in theory, but as power gets all the people in these positions, it was so nuts. Like,
Was he a womanizer?
yes, 100%. But I was like, oh, I'm his girlfriend, so it's different. Oh, it was so sad. I was in my 20s. I just,
oh my gosh.
So anyways, and then like, it ended. Oh my God, we were in Cairo and he was just like, I'm going to the Oasis. I was like, oh, we're going to the Oasis. And he goes, no, I'm going to the Oasis. And I was like, so you're just giving up? And English wasn't his first language. And he goes, what does it mean, giving up? And I almost hit him in the face. I couldn't. And so anyways, that was the end of it. I was heartbroken, but also like, I didn't get got because he broke up with me. So I avoided the back half of that dark story. But yeah. So anyways, that's
Wait, have you looked him up?
Now.
Have you tried to find him?
Yes.
Is he around? Is he like on IG? Tell me.
That's for another
What?
another day.
Ew, no, we need
it's
him
a
on.
dark. Yes, it's a
I
dark
need to
story.
surprise you with him next time.
Yes. There's prison was involved. So
They're gonna love to hear. Oh, wait, hello?
yes. ... for our next show.
I can't wait to watch you in that documentary on Netflix. You're like one of the girls.
Yeah.
You like healed though?
Yes. Oh yeah. It's been a long time now. So I survived.
Oh my gosh, girl. What you've been and worked and been able to meet so many awesome people. Is there someone that you haven't met yet you would love to have a convo with?
Dionne Warwick? No, I would love to meet Bon Iver. Now that we were just talking about it, it reminded me. Like, I think he's so cool.
What would you say?
I also think St. Vincent is the coolest. I would love to meet her. I think I would just be so nerdy. I always feel like I'm bothering people in all these situations. And it's like, everybody loves to hear like, hey, I love what you do. Like, everybody loves that. But for some reason, I'm always like, don't look them in the eye, shake their hand and walk away. So I'm not really great at those ones when I'm like really obsessed with them. But
what about all the fans that have been seeing you from your small shows to celebrating the Grammy wins with you that are now playing you on our iHeartRadio app on repeat?
Yeah. Oh my God. I remember in like growing up in the Bay Area, I didn't know a lot of musicians. It's like very hard to be a musician and like support yourself. And I remember when I first started doing shows, I thought to myself, no one's going to show up because everyone's would probably thinking like, get a job, And my first headlining show was like in the middle of an open mic night at the Starry Plow, which is like on the edge of Berkeley and Oakland. And it was packed. It was packed with like all the people that I'd known from high school and like parents and parents' friends. And everybody was like just so jazzed about it. Like they were just like, yeah. And I mean, I don't think I was even that great when I was doing it, but they were just so excited for me in such a genuine way that I've really felt like this whole time that everybody was supportive. I never felt the like, I've got to go prove myself because no one believed in me. Like everybody did believe in me, which is really, really sweet.
What a blessing.
I know.
So you were good.
Good enough.
Good enough for a few Grammys now. Just to wrap this all up, with everything that you've been able to accomplish so far, and I know we still have bigger and better dreams, if that's even possible.
I think I've done it.
How does it feel to be Cam right now?
It feels really fulfilling. Like I feel so fulfilled with this record. I feel so fulfilled with like I love my house and my kid and my husband. Like I love my dogs. Like I love this time, and I think I'm gonna look back and be like, oh, that was a really, really special period. So I'm enjoying it. Yeah.
And what about being here in New York? What does New York City mean to you?
Yeah, I was just telling Linz in the cab. I was like, we got to get dinner someplace great. It feels like in New York City, it feels like how I feel about New Year's Eve, where it's like a lot of pressure. It's like you got to do something cool because there's so many options. But yeah, usually we'll probably just end up at Italy, not just, but
love the rooftop
so
though.
good, yeah.
I can never hate. Well, Cam, I loved hearing your story.
Yeah, it's so wonderful talking to you.
I love seeing a Bay girly out here
I
doing the
know,
dang
me
thing.
too.
They can't do it like us. So I just want to say
No.
thank you for your time. Thank you for your light. Thank you for proving to mommies that you can be the badass in the room with whatever you're doing. And we cannot wait to keep being your biggest fans while we watch our journey, Cam.
Thanks, pal.
Of course.